there's anything I've always known how to do very well, I think it's communicating effectively. However, I found myself studying computer science in university for my first degree. And at the time, I kept questioning why I was there. A lot of times I'll go to school, and even though I was doing pretty well in some of my courses, especially courses that were coding related, I kind of knew that it wasn't really the place for me. So sometime in my 400 level, I then began a business. It was a food vending business. I started to sell cooked meals, flour pasta. I was known by the term flour pasta by a lot of my friends. And, I would cook really tasty meals, back them up and all that. And the business was doing quite well. I started from serving 10 bowls to 10 individuals to serving 10 banks within my university community. It was amazing, right? And I was glowing at it. I was growing at it and everything. And I soon found a new purpose being in school beyond, computer science as it were. And while that sounded crazy to a lot of people, who ditches computer science for selling meals or food, was very fulfilling for me. As I grew, I found that some of the things that made me grow in my food vending business, the basic aspects of marketing. So I was already doing SMS marketing before it became a thing, before I even knew what it was, right? I had this personal touch with every client and every customer. I will call in to check in on them, to know their orders, know how their day is going and all that. And it was just a beautiful experience. It was the one thing I looked forward to during my day. That led to me doing a lot of things, and to make the business grow, including branding. I got introduced to the concept of colors, understanding what identity, my brand identity was. I was crafting all of this without necessarily knowing what I was doing, but I knew it worked. I knew it was getting me endeared to my customers. I knew that it was helping me bring in the customers that I needed for the business to thrive. And it was giving me ideas on, the bigger picture. I wanted to have a food truck. So right after university, I then began to write proposals to companies, and I was looking for ways to raise the funds to get a food truck. I was so obsessed with it. I wrote to one of the companies, and my first presentation to them, didn't go so well, because they said, oh no, sorry, we can't partner with you on this because we also own a food truck, and we're not going to be able to do this with you. I started out in tech, writing codes, understanding algorithms, connecting systems, building network cables, doing a little bit of, all the tech stuff, that a computer science student will do. However, over time, I realized that I love helping people communicate their ideas clearly. I realized that I was more interested in helping people express themselves in a more understandable way. That's literally how I went from tech to communications. That passion became a burning desire in me, pretty much. And to be honest, at the beginning, I really didn't quite know what it was. So I found myself in a maze of some sort, trying to figure out what exactly or what problem I really wanted to solve. One thing was clear though, I really wanted to solve or help people communicate better. As time went by and opportunities came my way, I found that I found a lot of interest in helping people express their thoughts in a better way. And, one thing led to another, influence was born, and we're solving problems. Taking a leap from logic to language can seem questionable sometimes. Sometimes you ask yourself why. Have you ever found yourself in that maze where you have to take a leap from something that seems safe or common to everyone and uncommon? Share your story with me in the comment below. Thank you.